Hey folks, it's Cal once more, and today I'm installing a Mishimoto thermostatic oil cooler kit, which is that plate and that oil cooler, in my Legnum. Now this video is basically to show you that the hose routing is a bit more important on the Legnum if you are doing what I'm doing, which is mounting the oil cooler vertically. So the reason I'm mounting it vertically is a couple of reasons. One, space-wise, there's the cheap power steering cooler I've got there that's been there for a while, restricting the amount of space available for the oil cooler. Secondly, the GTI2 intercooler here comes up to about there, and so if I mounted the oil cooler down here, which seems like logical because you can bolt the feet of the cooler, if it's facing this way, you can bolt it to the chassis here. That seems to make sense, but then what you find is that the entirety of the oil cooler is behind the intercooler. So it's basically already hot air coming through to the oil cooler. In this particular case, I've got half the oil cooler in the hot stream from the intercooler, but the rest of it, obviously minus this portion here, is getting directly cool air coming straight in. So what we're finding is that we're getting the most cooling as the oil comes out. So that also means that we're going to be pumping, when we're using the thermostat, we're going to be pumping oil in this hose and pushing it up. And the reason we're coming in from the bottom and not from the top is to ensure that we're always pushing air out the top, because air wants to rise. So if there's air bubbles in here and we're pushing oil down this way, the air is going to resist and basically potentially get stuck in the oil cooler. So we're going to make sure that oil comes from the bottom, hot, rises up the oil cooler, getting cooled as it goes, and then comes out the top. What that also means is you need to, in this particular case, be specific with your thermostat hose routing. So noting that for all cars, the oil comes from the engine, goes to the outside, right? And then when it goes to the filter, it'll get pumped back through this hole. So what you note is that oil comes down here, okay, will enter this hole, and it will go straight across to here into this area to go up the middle. Now, when the engine is cold, the thermostat is fully open. The thermostat system on the Mishimoto sandwich plates, and I'm pretty sure oil thermostatic sandwich plates, is not an either or. It's not it only goes direct, or it only goes via the cooler. If the engine is cold, it can go both via the cooler and directly. Now, it'll go directly primarily because it's a much easier path. The pushing oil through the oil cooler is much more effort. So the easiest path is to go direct, to come in here, come across to the bottom, and then come up. Now, when the thermostat heats up to over 85 degrees Celsius, then it will close, stopping the direct path, and the oil will be forced to only travel out that hose and back in again. So it's important to note that the hose here at the base, where we're coming in from the thermostat, is this one right here. So on the rubber side here, it's that one right there.